have you back. So tonight we're going to be doing volume 24 of Am I the Asshole Stories. Now basically what I do, I pick 5 stories from the Am I the Asshole subreddit, then I read them, give my take on whether I think the person in the story is an asshole or not. Hopefully the stories help you to fall asleep and maybe sometimes make you laugh and hopefully not be too infuriating. So, let us begin. Number 1. Am I the asshole for not participating in my friend's scheme to convince a restaurant to buy his ketchup? My friend Zoltar, fake name, has been obsessed with ketchup ever since I met him. He's always trying out different recipes to make his own ketchup and getting me and all of our friends to try them. Now, recently he made what he called his best ketchup yet. I tried it. It wasn't bad. It was just ketchup. Now, he's decided that he is finally going to break into the ketchup game. He's convinced he's going to launch his own ketchup company and grow it to be one of the top providers of ketchup in the United States. He literally keeps a photo of Heinz ketchup on a dartboard. He throws darts at it and mutters things like, "I'm coming for you." Anyways, he has a scheme that he wants me and others to participate in. Essentially, it involves us all going to a restaurant, sitting at different tables, and enacting lines from a scene he wrote that will culminate in all of us trying and loving his ketchup, and then convincing the manager to buy it. He wants all of us to memorize lines. The gist of it is, one guy is supposed to call over a waitress and say that he likes the french fries but hates the ketchup. And then I'm supposed to lean over from another table and say, "Oh, sorry to butt in, but I have to agree. I'm tired of all this old-fashioned, factory-produced ketchup. Where's the real tomato flavor?" And after a few more people do this, my friend is gonna say to me, "Hey, you guys won't believe this, but I'm a ketchup chef, and I have a few samples. Would you and all the rest of you like to give it a try?" So at that point, everyone is supposed to try the ketchup and act astounded by it. Basically, everyone exclaiming that it's the best ketchup they've ever had. And then I'm supposed to stand up on my table and make a trumpet sound effect, as he calls it, and then yell to the entire restaurant, "We have the best ketchup ever made over here. Everyone come on over." After that, one of the other people is supposed to get the manager of the place over, and we're all supposed to try to convince him or her to buy an order of my friend's ketchup. My friend is going to act surprised and embarrassed and try and tell us to stop putting this poor guy on the spot in regards to the manager. My friend then assumes that because of this he'll make a huge sale, and then he wants to do this same operation at other places in town. Well, I told him, no way am I doing this. I hate public speaking and acting and having attention focused on me. Also, the idea is just so fucking dumb and crazy to me. And I told him straight up. He acted offended and said that I'm ruining his dreams. Well, I'm astounded by this, but some of my friends agree and believe that he's showing hustle and that we should all help him launch his ketchup business. Aside from his ketchup obsession, Zoltar is one of my best friends, but it seems that our friendship is being ruined. A lot of people are telling me that I'm a jerk for going against his dream, as they put it, and not helping out. Am I the asshole? Okay, first of all, that sounds like something out of a sitcom or something. He's literally like trying to be the Ketchup Mafia and slowly take over from that damn Heinz ketchup. because of like, they say it's like there's a girlfriend they don't get along with or something. But having a friendship ruined over some weird sitcom Ketchup thing, I don't know. Isn't that like illegal somehow? I don't know if it is or not, but it's like, would that be like fraud? I don't know. I don't think that OP is the asshole here, but I do think Zoltar is a very strange guy. I mean, hey, to each their own, you know, a ketchup obsession isn't really harming anybody, so I don't know. When I think of a hustle, I think of like if you really want to do something, you could like take recycling and collect as much as you can. Spend like hours a day doing that and take it in, get a couple hundred. Or you could resell items, or you could even get a second job, you know, just anything to make something to help pay the bills and help you save. But this seems like a lot of effort for some ketchup, and plus, once he does this exact same thing at another restaurant, won't people eventually start to pick up on it? I don't know. If anyone wants to comment and say what they think, let me know. Obviously, the comment section is fully open. Number 2. Am I the asshole for limiting the amount of water my son can drink? Just judging by that title, this is going to be a doozy. I have never done this before, so apologies for any issues. My son, 14, drinks a lot of water. If we don't regulate it, he'll drink 3, 4, or 5 bottles of water a day. He just tells me that he's really thirsty. The problem is, tap water in our area is terrible, so he can't drink that. But buying so many water bottles is insanely expensive. We spend hundreds of dollars a month on water. We took him to the doctor a couple years ago to see if there was an issue. Turns out, he's fine. He just drinks a lot of water. Me and my husband are kind of tired of this. So last week we sat our son down and made a new rule. He can have 2 water bottles a day, which is still enough to not be thirsty. To enforce this rule, every bottle he drinks past the limit is 1 day of grounding. We got some pushback at first, but it wasn't a problem until yesterday, where he drank 5 bottles of water in just 24 hours. We followed the rules and grounded him for 3 days. He was really mad and said it's totally unfair, but we reminded him, hey, those are the rules. I talked to my sister about this and she said it was crazy, so I decided to post it here. Am I the asshole? First of all, I feel like, I don't know if I'd say you're an asshole, but something's up. Like, you should have your priorities maybe a little bit around. So like, you mentioned that you can spend like $200 or so on water every month. Hundreds of dollars, I think it said. Yeah, we spend hundreds of dollars. That could be anything. Hundreds, right? Why wouldn't you just save up your money and get some sort of like a fix for that? Because you can do that, I'm pretty sure. You can have like a home water filtration system, and if you've got the money to put towards buying these like things of water bottles, then surely you can do that. And also, you know, I don't know if you just didn't think of this, but you know those big office water coolers that have the huge water bottles? You can just get one of those and buy like 3 or 4 bottles of water. That'll last him quite a bit. And like, to limit someone to 2 water bottles a day, how big of water bottles are we talking here? Like maybe if the water bottles are 2 liters each, so he gets 4 liters of water a day, which isn't that like the limit you're supposed to have? Like that's what you want to aim for every day. I mean, if it's just those tiny 500 milliliter ones, there's no way that's enough. That's like, it's not child abuse, but it's not good parenting either. I'll just say this person's ignorant. Next one. Am I the asshole for watching The Sound of Music in front of my siblings? I, 15, female, was watching The Sound of Music in the living room with my younger siblings, 6 female and 4 male. They were dancing and singing along and they loved it. But we stopped about maybe halfway through the movie. My older brother, 16, came home from work and asked how our day was and what we did. I told him we watched The Sound of Music and he got mad. He said I shouldn't watch that in front of them and that I'm a horrible sister for letting and exposing them to a movie with Nazis. Now, for those of you who haven't watched The Sound of Music, it's a relatively innocent movie, and in the beginning, it's a bunch of songs and the Von Trapp kids learning to sing. But towards the end, the family has to escape some Nazis, and nothing really violent or bad happens aside from the fact that they have to flee Austria to Switzerland because of their beliefs. My mother was in the room watching it with us and had no problem with it. And our family are full of musicians, and my siblings learning basic solfege and notes isn't bad. We let them sing along and dance. So, am I the asshole for letting my siblings watch a relatively innocent movie? No. I think your brother was just looking for something to be offended about. I feel like sometimes when people don't live in actively dangerous countries, they'll just find things to be angry about because, I don't know, they want to feel like they're making a difference, and to them, life is boring, which it can be pretty boring sometimes, but I've come to enjoy when life is kind of consistent in a good way. I feel like your brother has some maturing to do, but I don't know if he's necessarily an asshole, just naive. So, that movie, who cares? They probably wouldn't even know what the Nazis were or understand it at all unless you stopped it and explained it to them. And until 200 years from now, I'm assuming that World War II and Nazis, unless, heaven forbid, something worse comes along or we have another world war, they'll kind of be around in history until they eventually fade out of most public consciousness. I would assume the only person that people won't forget the name of is Jesus, Because if you think about it, the most known people are what? Jesus. And then number 2 is tied for the Beatles and Hitler. If we think about it, who are the most known people on Earth? The most people know who they are, I would assume. Maybe Justin Bieber, number 4. I guess I'm showing my age here. Who's the new Justin Bieber? Anyways, I don't listen to much music anymore that's new. But yeah, as for asshole, no, but misguided. Number 4. Am I the asshole for being upset my husband stopped me in the middle of a serious conversation to feel his boner? Hi, fellow Redditors. I just need some perspective on an argument which I had with my husband. Now, for some background. My husband and I are from 2 different countries. He's from the United States, and I am Canadian. We've been married for almost 2 years now, and I recently was approved for a green card and came over to live with him in the beginning of this year. I'm a professional healthcare worker by training in Canada, but unfortunately that doesn't really translate here. I'll need to pass about 4 exams and do an internship before I can be relicensed. This process takes around 2 years. One of these exams is offered only once a year in October and requires a document evaluation of my degree/license to be approved before I can even sit for the exam. I applied for this evaluation back in February, but due to extreme inefficiency and closures from COVID, the whole process process is taking forever. Note, this story takes place during the 2020 COVID pandemic. I'm worried I may not be approved in time for the October exam. This naturally is causing considerable stress for me, as it will delay the whole process another year, and I'm extremely frustrated. I feel very lonely and isolated. I want to be able to work and make money and have friends here. Well, now comes the argument. After speaking with some people on Facebook that are in a similar situation to me, a few of them informed me that their application was taking 6 to 7 months to be approved. I was venting to my husband about this, explaining what they said and how I feel. I was talking through some alternative jobs that I can find if I don't get approved in time. He kept saying he didn't really know what to say or how to help the situation. He shrugged. I continued talking, and halfway through me venting, he grabbed my hand and put it on his dick. He smiled and said he had a boner. I found this extremely disrespectful because here I am pouring my frustrations out to him, and he has a boner and thinks it's an appropriate time to make me feel it. I was just so confused and felt disrespected. He apologized and he said that he was just trying to make me laugh and lighten up the mood, and it was a joke. He then said I was looking too deeply into things and I'm overreacting, and he didn't intend to hurt my feelings. Am I wrong in feeling upset? I would never cut him off in the middle of an emotional, serious conversation to show him my genitals. It just seems so strange and dismissive to me. Am I the asshole? No. I would say your boyfriend's the asshole here, but like, how dismissive can he be is what I don't understand. And like, you were dating this dude. Is he like 14? Why doesn't he take this seriously, and why would he just randomly say, I have a boner? Like, are all his dogs barking? Is he doing good? You know? It's just very, very, very strange to me. Like, especially considering, like, the gravity of the situation. Like, are you going to lose your green card if you're not able to get this job? Or did you already get it, like, given to you? I don't believe it said, it specified that you were able to get one, but I don't know if you actually got one, or if that's dependent on you getting this job. If it is, he should be a little bit worried, because that might mean that you get sent back, and you don't want that. You want to be able to work there, live there, make your life there. It's troubling, I will say. Most people do not try to lighten the mood of rough situations by showing their genitals, and I'm fairly certain most women would not want to see a man's genitals in most situations, at least during a serious conversation. For men, I'll be honest, they probably would like to see somebody's genitals during a conversation about anything, unfortunately. Anyways. As for, no, you're not the asshole. No. The boyfriend's closer to an asshole than anything. But I would say again, I don't even know if I'd say an asshole, just like something's up there. I don't know. Number 5. Am I the asshole for making my girlfriend pay to sleep over? You sure this is your girlfriend? Okay. I, 28, male, have been with my girlfriend, 22, female, for about a year now, and things have been going really well, up until recently. We live in separate apartments, and we're spending about one night a week together at my place, but recently, it's turned into 3 or 4 nights a week. Now, don't get me wrong. I love having my girlfriend sleep over, and I could even see us living together one day. However, when I asked her to start paying $24 each night she stays over, she got really upset. I explained that all of my utility bills have gone up significantly since she started staying over more. And that $24 for one night in a $1,800 apartment is a great deal. Heck, I wish I got to live in my apartment for that little. Anyway, her and her friends think I'm being unreasonable, and her friends are telling her to dump me. I really love her and don't want to lose her, but I'm afraid of ending up in a relationship where bills aren't split equally, and I don't want to be with someone who just sees me as a meal ticket. I think it's reasonable to ask her to pay for things now that she's spending more time at my place, but maybe I'm wrong. Am I the asshole? I'd say yes. If you are looking to move in with your girlfriend, how long exactly do you plan on waiting? You know? It's kind of like people who say they're going to get married and then they just are engaged for decades and decades and just never get married. The way I see it, if you're going to move in with her, you should. But like, the first thing I thought of when I read that title was like you're treating your girlfriend like some sort of a prostitute or something. Or like, I don't know, some sort of like paid companion. And I can see why she'd be offended by that. You should maybe ask her to move in if you want. That way, you won't feel as weird. Just saying. But I think that about covers this one. I want to thank Bruno, Marvin, and David for being channel members, Super Penguins, Ultra Penguins, Pengambassadors for the channel. And I want to thank all of you for joining me. As you can tell, I'm a little bit tired. I mentioned it before, but if you didn't see it, I have sleep apnea and all this, and I need to be taking care of myself. Maybe I'm not the best one to talk about good decisions, considering my GERD and always like having issues with eating and drinking things that are bad for my GERD, so I should be taking my own advice. I'll allow it. But I want to thank all of you for watching. It means a lot that you like these videos and that they help you sleep. And I want to make more trigger-based content too. I don't just want it all to be me talking, So I'm going to try to work on that. On the bright side, my girlfriend has found a Nikon camera. And with that, I might be able to start filming some higher quality stuff. I was thinking of doing Lego videos where I like put together Lego designs and stuff. Try to get it so it's not too loud. Like, you'll like be doing something on a table and you accidentally push down too hard and it makes a loud noise. I'm going to see if I can avoid that. And I also am going to try to do better with the green screens. I've got them sort of, but it's not yet down to a science. So I'm going to work on it. But thank you all very much. I will get to requests, I promise you. I just kind of procrastinate. I apologize. I will get to them, I promise. Well, unless it's like impossible for me, I promise like 90% I'll get to. If there's some that I can't get to, I'll still be open to taking other requests from people who have them. Anyways, have a wonderful night, and I will see you next time. And also, Merry Almost Christmas.